Think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
What's good, everybody? ABBD83 here. Today, we're going to be talking about self-hate blue no matter who. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. What do you mean by self-hate blue no matter who? Right across this video I'm about to show you, and when I commented on the video, the level of self-hate I got in the responses is quite alarming. And honestly, I hope that they were bots. But yeah, there's a self-hate blue no matter who. Now, for the butthurt blues that might be listening, all I have to say is this: if it don't apply, let it fly. And before we get started, let me go on and put this little message out. Warning: if you vote blue no matter who, your butt is about to hurt. Nobody is going to kiss the Democrat Party's ass for you. If you don't like it, you can always go kick rocks. Now, let me share my screen. There we go. Now, this knucklehead, who is called the change something, backup, whatever, is talking about how black men are going to affect the vote in November. And well, I'll just let you listen to it, and you can hear it for yourself.
The black male vote will not determine if Madam Vice President Kamala Harris will be the president. So to make her prove her blackness and all this, it's funny. They're completely forgetting that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is also biracial. Black men are delusional. What would make you think that you could hold a vote hostage with these numbers? The highest life expectancy was observed.
And yeah, don't adjust your TV screen or your computer screen or whatever you're watching this on. That is a black man talking this bullshit. That is a black man talking like this.
Observed for white females who will live on average 80.5 years. The values for black females and white males are quite similar to each other, 76.1 years and 75.3 years, with black females having the slight advantage. Of the four race sex groups considered, black males have the shortest average longevity of 69 years. First to be taken out of the game completely.
Now, do you understand why I call this? My title is called Self-Hate. Oh, and we haven't even got to the comment section yet. Wait till we get to the comment section. Then you're really going to see the self-hate.
Despite the fact that black boys and men account for just 6% of the population. So we'll split that between men and boys. 3% men, 3% boys that are unable to vote anyway. So let's take out the black men that are incarcerated, black men that cannot vote, black men that are going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway, the black men who wasn't going to vote anyway, and the black men who are going to do some goofy shit like vote for Kanye West. So that 3% quickly becomes a 1.5%. Vice President Kamala Harris needs to demonstrate to this 1% of voters how black she is. They expect Madam Vice President Kamala Harris to jump through flaming hoops when the entire reason why the black male vote ain't worth a damn is because homicide has been.
Oh, don't adjust your screen, Snowman. This is a Negro talking this bullshit.
What in the all types of blue hell?
And the leading
Here.
black males aged 15 through 44 for more than half a century. Ops and blickies and slide and switch and drill and O-block and this and that and stupid ass shit. And that's never going to change anytime soon because it don't matter how many kids are born to single mothers, they're just going to kill them anyway. Gun violence is also the leading cause of death for black children. And these ain't no accidental shooting deaths. These bullets actually got names on them. Nearly 84% of gun deaths among black children are gun homicides. And in 2022, black children are more than 18 times more likely to be killed in a gun homicide.
Gee, you think? Gee, I wonder. You know.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
That's what happens when the majority of the children in your community are raised by single mothers. Did you ever think about that?
Aside than white children, Vice President Kamala Harris has the support of the Indian American community. Indian Americans tend.
No, she doesn't.
No.
No, she doesn't.
To be a reliably democratic voting bloc with high turnout rates. Indian Americans like Vanita Gupta, and while she always voted, she never put in that work. But that all changed when Vice President Kamala Harris, the daughter of Indian and Jamaican immigrants, rose to the top of the Democratic ticket. This Indian woman right here, this one, got on her motherfucking Zoom. She got all the South Asian women. WhatsApp? She got them on WhatsApp. Many Indian Americans appear to share Gupta's newfound enthusiasm and urgency, which is.
Hell no.
Your thoughts on the self-hate so far?
Where do I begin?
And once again, yeah. And once again, to the butthurt blues that might be listening, if this don't apply to you, let it fly.
But you know they won't.
Is why this one lady right here raised over $275,000 to support Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. After all, they are the richest ethnic group in the United States, and 43% of them born in India and 41% of them born here have college degrees, while only 13% of all Americans do. Lowest life expectancy, lowest educational attainment, and lowest income. Against the group that
You're part of that too, bro. So I don't know
has
what
the highest
I don't know what
educational
you're gloating
attainment,
for.
the highest income, and a high voter turnout rate. At this current moment, it doesn't even make sense to invest in earning the black male vote.
Then why do they keep trying to shame us into voting
Whoa,
for?
whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. Time the fuck out. What in the Vita blue, yellow-bellied, red-blooded fuck did I just hear?
Oh yeah, we don't matter. That's exactly what you just heard.
I hate to tell this,
Now,
but
even the Coonish of Coonish on the right side, I've never heard him talk like this.
nor have
Yeah.
I.
At least the ones I listen to.
I actually have a question about this gentleman, and I use the term quite loosely. I believe the master teacher said it best. What is gay?
No, you didn't put that in your soundboard. That is hilarious.
Yes, I did. The night he recorded it, I put it in this damn board.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
The night BGS recorded it for me, I put it in the sound base about 30 seconds after he recorded it.
What's he? Oh my goodness!
And in case you didn't hear the question, my question remains about this gentleman, and I use the term loosely. What is gay?
Oh, dear Lord.
Now or in the future, based on where we are in the actions of some black men,
Okay, let's go to the comment section because
I'm
believe it or
sorry.
not,
I'm sorry. I had to. I mean, he's well, find the lie.
So as you can see right here, I commented on this little video you made, and I said, okay,
Okay, we still
not
ain't voting
voting
for her. Get it
for
get
over.
over it. Exactly.
And here's his response.
He did not respond. Come on.
Yes, he did.
Oh.
You're irrelevant. Nobody cares. What are you not comprehending? Do I need to show you the chart? Get the homicide rate down. Focus on that. Okay, you do know that requires us calling out these black women for their bullshit, right?
Master
Oh,
teacher.
yeah. Okay, go ahead and play it.
Master teacher. One more time.
What is gay?
But here's some more. Here's some of the more comments I got. There's a reason I titled my title the way I titled.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you said "we" as if you're fake ass allyship. Who says I'm allying with anybody? First of all, would make a difference anyway. Bro's 150,000 dead from 93 to 2003. Fix that, you Sambo.
Once
Sambo?
again.
What is gay?
I'm gonna wear this button the fuck out.
Yeah, Sambo, really? Y'all up here kissing Kamala Harris's ass, but you gonna call somebody a Sambo?
Now that is some bullshit.
By the way, just for the record, because of my eye problem, I've been called Uncle Ruckus on multiple occasions, and I look at it this way.
Stop. Stop.
I just look at it this way. I look at it this way, Snowman. I ain't your Uncle Ruckus. I'm your Uncle AB. Get it right. But no, anyway, Sam
They did not compare you to Uncle. Stop it.
Well, my real response to that is, okay, y'all gonna compare me to Uncle Ruckus for not supporting the Democrats. But
Yeah.
you allowed an 80-year-old Dixiecrat to define your blackness. You want to call somebody Uncle Ruckus. Okay. And I respond to him, Sambo, really? Maybe you should look in the mirror first. Also, you speak as if white on white crime doesn't happen.
Now, don't. You know what, AB? I have a song for you. I have a song for you.
Uh-oh.
Use a troll. Use a troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
Trolling them with facts. What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh, that's the funny part. It actually gets worse. Here's one of the main reasons I'm doing this video. This comment right here. Did you miss the point of the video? No one needs your vote. You conquered bullet
bag. Oh my God.
Yes. Oh. I got called a bullet bag for
you got called a bullet bag for pointing out a fact. Right?
Pretty much. I got called a bullet bag for saying I wouldn't support Kamala Harris.
I'm going to hate myself for this, and I'm partially glad I don't have my glasses. But show me his face again.
Oh.
Okay. My question remains.
What is gay?
Yeah. And for the record,
you better clip the hell out of it. You better clip the hell out of that and send it to BGS, all right?
And for the record, I don't get on brothers' preferences, but
I
that is a
know,
good question.
I
That
know,
is a good question.
but it begs to be asked, does it not?
Yeah, it does.
As I often say, and you've heard me say during my show, find the lie.
What lie? But yeah, I got called.
I got another. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to pull this sound up. Okay, you know who this guy reminds me of?
Who?
Hang on.
Okay.
Oh my God. Speaking of Yo Kang, what did Yo Kang been doing recently?
Call 1-800.
Okay.
Oh man, because we got something else to cover today. That's enough of that crap. I got to find.
Yeah, I had to play that. I told you the moment BGS recorded that sound, I saved it 30 seconds after that. Because you can't tell me. You can't tell me that you cannot. Master teacher, once again.
What is gay?
And
what in the all types of blue hell?
Where is it at? I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this stupid ass
it's
interview.
okay. I could combine those two sounds, but I'd have to do a hell of a lot of editing for it.
Which is here it is.
Okay.
Unfortunately, how can I say this?
Say it honestly.
Honestly?
Yes.
Get your Hidden Valley Ranch ready.
Oh no, not more words. Oh Jesus.
Because we have another Kamala Harris interview.
You'd be so proud of my wife.
Oh,
because you'd be so proud of my wife because she actually used the term word salad.
And but yeah, we this is the
is this Matt Barnes?
I don't know.
I mean,
All the Smoke podcast.
Yeah, it's Matt Barnes. That's all I need to know. Play it.
Oh, interesting note. This video has 11,000 likes and 19,000 dislikes. Gee, I wonder why.
We got a very special guest today. Very excited to sit down and talk to
our biggest guest.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't lie about that.
That's Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
No, you did it. So we don't need to do nothing of them. Excuse me. Our biggest guest. I've been corrected.
Wait a minute, Matt Barnes. Isn't that the dude that lost his wife to what's his name? To Derek Fisher.
Yep.
Oh, and for those you don't know, Steven Jackson was Cam not Cam Newton, but Cam Newton before Cam Newton. He got a bunch of baby translation. He got a bunch of baby mamas too. Oops.
The only difference between Steven Jackson and Cam Newton is that Steven Jackson actually has 2 championships.
Fair enough. But if I'm not mistaken, with the Spurs.
Yes.
Thank you. It is
because I know he was playing for us for a minute, but then
yeah, he was with the Pacers, but he won his titles with the Spurs.
Thank you for sitting down with us. Thank you for having us in your home. We're excited to be.
And actually, in fairness to Steven Jackson's credit, he is on record telling young dudes not to go down his path. So
yes,
fair enough.
Many times over.
Thank you, Buck. I'm so happy to have you here. Yeah. Thank you. And you do me great honor to be here. Thank you.
In 2013, a blind date with your now husband, Doug. If you think back to that date and now we're here, did you ever imagine this was going to be the journey?
No, I just have a really bossy best friend.
It was a blind date, right?
It was a blind
Okay.
date. And she called me up because she and her husband met him and got to know him. And then she just decided that this could work. And said,
Okay,
Oh my
I'll say
gosh.
before the master teacher will say, now that is some bullshit.
Thank you for queuing that up for me.
Now that is some bullshit.
to me, just go out with him once. Don't Google him, just go out with him.
Don't Google them. Just
I
give it a
Googled
shot. Yeah, right.
And it turned out she was right.
It was a
And
good
I'm
choice.
in a very happy marriage. I'm very
So
thankful.
where'd you guys go? Did you really eat, or did you just
Hold
do
on.
a salad? Like, did you really
We-
like?
I continue.
Yeah.
Because you can't make this up. You can't. Not only can you not make this up, you can't make this easy.
Like,
did.
let
We
your
went
hair
out,
down
we
and have
went
fun?
out. So he came to pick me up,
Okay. What kind of car?
a BMW.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Moving in style.
But here's the thing that was actually really funny.
You smell that? You smell that?
I smell bullshit.
That's what it smells like. It smells like some bullshit.
I get in
I
the car and he
smell
said, I just need to tell you
bullshit.
something. And I'm like, okay, what's this gonna be? He said, I'm a really bad driver.
Give you the heads up, huh?
So that's how it started.
Okay.
I guess he was just trying to create low expectations. And we went to what turned out to be
Create low expectations. Have you taken a peek in a goddamn mirror?
And speaking of that, man, I'm gonna need you to find this sound. Lowered expectations.
I'm on it now.
But you remember that from Mad TV?
I'm on it now. I'm on it now. I'm on it now. I'm on it now. Now
Because
watch
I'm
me.
just gonna point something out.
Give me one. If I can't find it, then it's gonna take me longer than I expect to find it. But I will say, just give me 180 seconds.
Okay, but but just to point something out, man. You notice she's nervous laughing.
Yep. When is she not nervous laughing?
his one favorite restaurant where everybody knows who he is, which is
So he was
obviously
showing
very
you off
smart.
then.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So
strategic.
he could walk in and they were like, "Hey, Doug."
Yeah. I see.
Yep. Why are we
Uh-huh.
surprised?
Right. Exactly.
Bay Area girl,
Yeah.
born in Oakland.
Mhm.
You grew up around the TMC times,
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors. We hear you're a big fan.
I am.
And there was a rumor that you were in the stands when we were there in the
I
We
found
Believe
it.
era.
I really.
Can we talk about
was-
that?
Yes.
Do you remember
Yes. I do remember.
How
I
was
do. Okay. We want to say our Warriors are always good, whichever
Mhm.
era, but that was a very special time. I mean, it was electric. You guys
Yeah,
remember? It was
absolutely.
What do
electric.
you know
Yeah.
about the Golden State Warriors? I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say this out loud from a fellow who's covered the Warriors since 2005. Bitch, what do you know about the motherfucking Golden State Warriors? Especially the We Believe era. You trifling ass bitch.
Mm.
I'm willing to bet you any kind of money, aside of the two gentlemen that are in front of her, she cannot name the coach, assistant coaches, or any other player on that fucking roster. Don't give me that. Don't give me
Like,
that.
we would take Bart to get there and just and go, and it was just, I mean, this is the thing I love about sports in general, but I'm gonna say my Warriors, our Warriors, is that it really was about bringing like all kinds of people from around the Bay Area. And the Bay Area is a melting
Yeah.
pot, right?
Yeah.
all coming in. And that team, I mean, you guys were like the best of the best, legendary.
You know what's funny, not to cut you off, is I went back in 2017 with Steph and Katie and those guys, and we won a championship right before I retired, but they all wanted to know about that We Believe team and the era and the energy around the city. And when I was there, the media was talking about it, the fans were talking about it.
By the way, like, share, subscribe, hit my Cash App, support the show.
Hit the super chat, support the show. And I got a sound coming
that
for y'all.
On all the championships, they had a fascination in what we did.
What was it like for you guys?
For me, it was big for me because I had some trouble 2 years before, so I needed to come into a situation where I needed to change.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing in disguise for me. You know, I landed with a whole bunch of guys I knew. I landed with a coach that didn't judge me, that let me be me.
Yeah.
And we were able to make history, so it was a blessing for me.
Yeah, I think too. I mean, it was.
Man, Steven Jackson look old as fuck.
What happened?
Steven Jackson look old as fuck, man.
Yeah. And to think he came right out of high school.
How old is he? Like 50?
52, I believe. I'm not sure.
Well, this could be solved very quickly. Just give me 1 second. Let me.
And while you do that, I have a surprise for you.
Okay. Get the fuck out.
Talk.
He's 46.
So I was wrong. Looking like that at 46? What the hell happened there?
What is that your boy Chris Bay said? What in the all types of blue hell? Give me 1 second here. We're gonna get back to the interview because I'm gonna cover the whole interview, but in a minute. But let me y'all just bear with me for a minute.
And give me a second also, because I found something that was requested.
This right here is 41. I'm 41.
Wait, he's 46, right?
Yep.
Hold on a second. Let me bring my screen in here. Bring me back up really quick.
Oh, okay. 1 second. There we go.
This is 52. I am 52. I am 52 years old.
46. That's a rough ass 46, man. But let's continue.
Almost a melting pot of guys that, my career could have been over before it started. That's where I really first got my chance with Don Nelson. Like he said, he was coming off trouble. One of our other brothers, Baron Davis, was very talented, but injuries and didn't really know what was going on. So it just kind of felt like they put their arms around us. Like we were out in the streets hanging out from San Francisco.
Oh, before we continue, certainly rest in power to Dikembe Mutombo.
Yes. And to Pete Rose.
That's a fucking shame they never put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame before he died, man.
I'm glad you caught part of my live stream I did earlier tonight about it. I only did 10, 15 minutes on it. I will say more throughout the week. Is this what you're looking for? Is that what you're looking for?
Oh, yes.
Did I just walk into an R&B concert?
No.
He made a request of me to find the sound, and I found it.
Why did I get the urge to want to slap the tattoos off Nick Barnes all of a sudden?
Matt Barnes,
yeah.
Who's the other Oakland to
Richmond,
probably every club that was open. Yeah, we were there. They called us the Fillmore Five. Yeah, the Fillmore Five. Yes, we were out. We really just embracing the community. But I mean, one thing I'll say about the Bay Area fans is, like you said, you always want to say they were good, but there was times where they were terrible, but the support never wavered. You guys were so loyal to the fans. Yes.
First of all, loyalty is a general matter in life.
Yep.
I think is one of the.
She lying her ass off right now, but okay.
Now that is some bullshit.
Most important, growing up, my mother used to say, you got to have a code.
Got to stand for something.
And you figure out
And
what your
you
vote
ain't
is.
got one.
But loyalty, and then loyalty to your team, right? I mean, no, but
This
like
is fancy.
Yeah,
They got the emblem on it and everything, huh?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, look at this. Man, feel like some presidential water right here. As you were saying,
you gotta be loyal to your team. Like my husband and I have different teams.
Is he from the Bay too?
Well, he's originally from Jersey, but he moved to LA when he was a teenager. So most of his fans are LA teams.
Okay.
And so, depending on who's playing who and what time of the year it is, it's very
Of
really
course.
real, like talking some serious
got to.
smack.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on all three of the teams out of Oakland now?
Oh, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Remember, we used to have all of them. We used to have all of them. And you just drive by that area. When I go to Oakland, when I go to the Bay Area,
it's sad.
And if you land at Oakland Airport and just pass Colosseum, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And good teams.
Yeah. And for us, I think as players in our time, we more worried about the workers and the people that were there, because that's what made us feel good.
Exactly
the workers, every day we came in there, we saw those smiles. We got hugs by people actually from Oakland, and to see them losing jobs to San Francisco, that really did.
You're so right. It was part of the economic engine of Oakland.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the vendors, and it was and it was local folks, small businesses. Yeah.
I'll definitely say. I mean, obviously we.
Go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, a lot of that is bullshit, and I could use a Dave Chappelle joke to emphasize that. If y'all remember him doing the special For What It's Worth, he said, being in San Francisco, you knew what the smart one thing was. Because y'all had all the niggas on the other side of the bridge. Because when you cross that bridge, it's like, welcome to Oakland, bitch. Click, click. I'm closing the windows and I'm driving with the windows rolled up. I'm closing the doors and everything.
And there's no lie to that. I took a visit. I took a visit to the Bay Area.
Shit.
Hold
on, I said it wrong. I said it wrong. I said shit wrong. I was supposed to say like Clay David, like Clay. What's his name? No, Clay Davis.
Let's continue.
We understand what that era and that team kind of did. They took the team to a new level, and the business side kicked in.
Yeah, it really did.
I love where they're at in San Francisco. Beautiful stadium, but they'll never be anything like Oracle.
Never.
No, and I'm always gonna think. Golden State Warriors is.
That's what you think.
That's Oakland, right?
No. This is so rehearsed. And it's painfully obvious.
Now, take a look at that look.
Ugh. Ugly ass smile.
I will borrow a question that the legendary Bill Cosby posed during an episode of The Cosby Show. Now, who would want to spend the rest of their life looking at that face?
Apparently her husband, I guess.
Now, without having a couple side chicks on the side chicks.
Or a couple of drinks.
But
I grew up.
I got one better for you,
Black
Snowman.
dad, and was always very.
I'm sorry, AB. I got one better for you, Snowman.
Okay.
Yves Clouseau. That's a champagne. Eddie Griffin talked about it. He said, if you ever see a cover of the bottle, you see his wife, And I understand why this man had to create a drink. If she was in the mood, he's like, hang on, I need a couple drinks before I fuck your big ass, all right? I need some champagne for my pain. I need some bubbles from my troubles. I need a drink because I'm about to stink.
Proud of my heritage until an incident I had in high school when I was 17, protecting my little sister. Someone called her some names. I did what the big brother did. I ended up getting in trouble, and the KKK came and vandalized, nearly burned down my high school. And I knew at that point, although I was very proud to be Italian and Black, that the world looked at me as a Black man. You've always been secure in your identity, who you are, but what do you feel or what do you think when you hear people kind of questioning just the fabric of who you are?
Well, one, I don't listen to it. I'm really clear about who I am, and if anybody else is not, they need to go through their own level of therapy. That's not my issue.
Issues, right?
My mother was very clear. She was raising two Black girls to be two proud Black women, and that was never. It was never a question. It's.
Oh, I thought you were Indian.
Oh no!
Honey,
wait! Hold on a second.
Journalists.
Let me add a little something. First of all, her parents came from the Commonwealth, correct? Correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, the Commonwealth. That's basically the former British Empire. Her father was Jamaican. Her father, sorry, it is Jamaican. Sorry, he's still alive. Her mother was South Asian Indian. But here's the thing people forget about. You go to the Caribbean, you go to South Africa, Uganda, you get former British colonies, you're going to find Indian communities there. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is, and of course, in those places, you know, there is a tension between black, and like in the Caribbean island, in the West Indies, there is a bit of a tension between Afro-Caribbeans and Indo-Caribbeans, in a sense. And her father knew the word South Asian. So I'm sure when he interacted with her, he was dealing with a woman who'd never been around Caribbeans and whatnot. But this whole thing about her race and whatnot, I mean, I know I might be wrong for saying this, but this kind of reminds me of the birther shit, you know, with Obama.
Okay, we need to continue.
All right.
Some, not most, will want to talk about it. And I say, okay, if you want to have this conversation, I'm prepared to have it, but sit down and get comfortable for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start talking about race in America,
Mm-hmm.
you want to talk about the 1/8 rule. You want to talk about what it means in terms of who you are perceived to be and the impact that can have on the rest of your life, regardless of who you actually are in terms of your God-given capacity and the rights that you have and should have. So, you know, I don't mess with that. I think that's other people trying to figure some stuff out that they got some issues. They got to deal with it themselves.
You've also been attacked for not having biological children, but you are a stepmom and I'm a stepfather. I just had my 7th little boy 2 weeks ago, but I have 3 stepchildren that are mine. And being a dad was natural. Being a dad to my 4 sons was natural, but learning to navigate, not wanting to step on toes. How do you earn the love and the trust? How did you earn Ella and Cole's love and trust? And how did you get the name Mamala?
I'll start with this. I am a daughter of divorced parents. My parents were divorced when I was 5.
Mamala.
And just being very frank and candid with you, when Doug and I started dating, you know, his parents have been married over 60 years. I had to explain to him what it is like to be a child of divorced parents. And including that it was really important to me that
she's looking for the words. Look at her face. She's just searching for the words to explain herself.
She doesn't have the script in front of her.
Yeah, she doesn't have a script in front of her. No, she turned the eyes at which is a sign that you're lying.
Why the fuck you?
I knew what he and my relationship would be before I formed a relationship with the kids. Because that's just from my perspective and experience, not fair to the children. Because, you know, children form attachments. So I was very intentional about waiting until I knew that, okay, this is a real relationship before I got to know the kids. And then we became, thick as thieves. And I love those children. They are my children. Absolutely. And, you know, we talk about we have a modern family, and maybe the blessing that I have that not everyone has, although I think everyone should try and work on it, is I have a very close, because it is a very respectful relationship with their mother.
It's important.
You know, and so
that ain't easy. That's rare.
No, it is not. It is not. And you have to work at it. Hot flash. Hold on. But you have to work at it. You'll be all right. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing that we have to remember. And I know we do. And we feel, but we have to be intentional about it, because the forces and the emotions will drag us from this point. The most important thing is that our kids grow up healthy. And, you know, I think of the many things that we role model, probably the thing we role model the most that we don't realize is how to form healthy relationships. You know, we teach our kids how to drive. We will sit down and do homework with them. But one of the things we are teaching them every day, and we have to be intentional. We will not be perfect. We will fall short. But it's how to develop healthy emotional relationships. One of the ways, especially in that dynamic, when you're talking about my husband's ex-wife, is how to be respectful. And I was very intentional about, for example, knowing that the kids, as they got to know and form a relationship with me, would not want to feel like they were somehow being disloyal to their mother. And I knew that. And so I was very intentional about always making sure that I
don't believe it, but okay.
Was clear with them that I would.
How does your mom believe it?
How does your mom? Show me how you do it. And I think that's really important, because, you know, this is the thing that I think has become clear, especially as I'm now running for president.
Sorry, I got to be petty from that. Don't you
believe it?
Chris, space, if you will.
And these kind of conversations are becoming more prevalent.
So blue hell.
Like, what does it mean to be a
could you do that again?
The people who don't get it are understanding. Is there a whole lot more?
What in the all types of blue hell
Exactly.
of these kinds of relationships, and people realize this is not the 1950s.
Blended is the new norm.
Right.
Blended
It
families
is.
are the new norm.
It is. It is. And they're beautiful.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful way to live, to build and grow your family. You know, I talk about, even in my speech at the convention, I grew up with the family that is my family by blood and the family that is my family by love.
And sometimes that's thicker.
And that's exactly right.
That's thicker.
That's exactly right. I think increasingly people, especially younger people, understand that, right?
Yep.
That there's the family you're born into, and then there's the family you choose. And it's on you to make a decision about what you want and how you define your family, and you have the right to do that. You know,
I tell Mike, I'm just an extra layer of support and protection. I'm not there to replace your dad. I'm not there to, I'm here to help in any way possible.
Right.
So
Mamala came about because it's Kamala, and then they just got creative with it, and it's Mamala.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, all right, shifting a little bit to policy talk. And before we talk about policy, can you briefly explain, because I think sometimes there's misconceptions of the power of the president or the power of the vice president. Explain how a bill becomes a law.
Okay. I believe that the best way the system works is when the power is with the people to then act.
Bullshit.
That's not how it works.
Stop. What did he just ask her?
How a bill becomes a law.
Advocate for their needs and have their needs met.
Right,
so that's the big macro stepping back, right? One of the ways that the system works to do that the system should work to do that, is we have elected representation who represent the people in these state legislatures, which is where laws get passed, or in Congress, which is where the federal laws get passed. And the system to work the right way, legislators, these members of a state legislature, let's say your state senator, your state assembly member, or your congressman or your United States senator, will meet with, and they'll have ways of receiving information from the people about what they want. I think it's really important always that we know our power to organize around what we need. And sometimes that'll take the form of writing letters. Sometimes it'll take the form of mass protests to make sure the voice of the people is heard by their representative leaders, who then have as their responsibility to write up some legislation that meets the needs of the people. And then when they write that up, they take a vote in their body, if it's a state house or Congress. And if the majority of the people there agree with it, it becomes a law. So that's how it's supposed to work. And I mean, it does connect to what we were talking about earlier, which is then reminding folks they have a right to expect that their leaders will hear them and take seriously their needs. You know, a lot of why I think it's important to talk about our accomplishments on things like reminding folks they have a right to expect that their leaders will hear them and take seriously their needs.
Snooze button.
I had to play that again because I wanted to see the look on her face.
You know, a lot of
repeat a question I asked.
And notice she's looking up. Notice she's looking up to the right. In translation, she's thinking of another lie to say.
She's thinking of another lie to say, and
it's
she's
important to talk about.
It's not like somebody's got a cue card for
on
her.
Things like we finally let Medicare negotiate drug prices with the big pharmaceutical companies so that we could cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month. You know why that's important? Because forever that never happened. And when we explain to people that they kept advocating and kept fighting for it to happen, and it did happen, it reminds people, don't give up, keep fighting for the things you know are possible, even if it's never happened before. I think it's important for people to know, you know, when we, like, for example, I helped write the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act when I was in the United States Senate. People by the hundreds of thousands marched, rightly, out of pain, out of knowledge, out of commitment, that we need to take seriously what we got to do to deal with this system. And so we couldn't get enough votes to pass it, but we got it that far that we wrote it up. And we got it as far as so that under our administration, the president was able to sign an executive order that put a lot of what we put in the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act into an executive order. So at least for federal law enforcement, we're now dealing with no-knock warrants. We're now talking about a national database for police officers who have committed misconduct.
To the people who say, why are we still marching in 2024 when it's common sense what people need? What do you say to that?
Look, my parents marched for civil rights back in the day. I do believe there is no significant progress that we've made in our country without the people often taking to the streets. Going way back to the Civil Rights Act, to the Voting Rights Act, to, you know, I mean, what's happening now in the streets on choice, to what happened around George Floyd's murder, and moving forward an agenda that's about that. I mean, you could just go through just the different levels.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
The progress that we've had often has taken people taking to the streets, which is why, look, I support the right of people to peacefully protest. My opponent in this race, you look up Project 2025.
Nasty work.
They're literally talking about what they would do to arrest people.
Oh, is that why somebody from the Heritage Foundation just endorsed you? Oops.
Play that again, because I have
why,
the sound you're looking for.
Is that why somebody from the Heritage Foundation, the people that actually wrote Project 2025, just endorsed you?
In other words, Mamala.
Stop the cap.
Oh, and to the Butthurt Blues, they're going to tell me, but he's not a Republican. And where did the individual mandate come from again? And Obamacare, where did that come from? Oh, right, the Heritage Foundation.
So once again, Mamala.
Stop the cap.
Because if you gave them,
because they want to
Can't we just call
suppress.
Kamala
Part of
as
what
she, as
really
usual?
concerns me about this moment in time is we've also defined our progress over the years, and therefore our strength, as being about the expansion of rights. And now we're seeing a full-on intent to restrict rights.
Going backwards.
I strongly believe we have.
You shouldn't talk about your own administration like that. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Have to always be
say it louder.
Man, hold on. Let me get you a card. Let me get you a card. You want 2 pillows or just one?
She really shouldn't talk about her and Biden's administration like that.
And she is.
She's just babbling, blah 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 blah
Meaning,
blah blah blah.
whatever gains we've made, they will not be.
I love doing this. Lop 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 lop.
I got someone better. I got better for you. AB,
Be permanent.
Huh?
oh, pause. AB,
Yeah.
do you remember the Tasmanian Devil had his own animated series, his own cartoon series?
Tasmania, down to Tasmania.
Do you remember how his dad would talk? Such blah blah and yakety shacky, blah 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 blah, yakety smacky, blah blah, yakety smacky. You should be using that soundbite instead.
Because that's all we're hearing right now.
Did you get my reference though?
Yeah, I do get your reference though, but just
yeah,
funny.
I got it.
Peanut Gallery. Charlie Brown listens to this blah blah.
Yes.
Blah,
Oh, you mean no? They use a trumpet with that. With that little muffler thing.
Unless we stay on it.
Continue to push.
You got to know you can't take any of our rights for granted. And that's why we have to stay active.
And that's all you've been doing.
That's about being involved in community
Oh, is that why y'all trying to get rid of TikTok? Oops.
organizations. That's about having those conversations when everybody gets together, whether it be at the barbershop or around the kitchen table, to remind ourselves about, look, what's happening and what do we need to do about it?
And also think too, I mean, some of the stuff we stand and fight for, I do it as a parent. In my lifetime, I may not see the benefits, but I have 7 kids who are going to have more kids that are coming down the pipeline that may one day, I'm sure when your parents fought, they're thinking by the time my daughter's old enough, hopefully she won't be going through this.
That's exactly right. But see, they also taught me this. Don't fall asleep on this stuff. Don't fall asleep on it. Don't sit back and get comfortable. Like, oh, that's done.
Shut the
there's
already
come on, don't talk about the black church like that. Don't let me shut up.
They've already, you just took the exact words out of my mouth. They've already fallen asleep. Matter of fact, they never woke up. Try again.
Yeah, now, certainly I won't name the church I'm from, but yesterday we had a visit from a senator candidate for the Democrat Party. And she pretty much just gave word salad speech like Kamala did right here. And I'm going to be honest. I feel some kind of way about it. I probably won't be attending church next week.
I don't blame you.
So if somebody's listening from my church, take that however you want to take it. But I will not blindly support Kamala because
just stand your ground, man. If they don't like it, they can always kick rocks.
This old saying, it's Coretta Scott King. She said, I paraphrase it all the time, the fight for civil rights, which she meant the fight for justice, the fight for equality, must be fought and won with each generation. And I think what she meant is, 1, understand whatever gains we make will not be permanent, and 2, therefore you must be vigilant. You got to stay on top of it.
Notice, she said any gains we make will not be permanent.
That's scary.
And by the way, don't complain about that.
HBCUs are such a
And she backed it up with that.
Big thing now, and it
is one, understand whatever gains we make will not be permanent, and two, therefore you must be vigilant. You got to stay on top of it. And by the way, don't complain about that.
Actually, I would say we always got to keep a watchful eye, because
of course.
I mean, like, George Carlin used to say, they. The ones in power do not want us to be educated because they need us to be obedient workers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we need to raise awareness and be vigilant and
obedient workers.
Yes.
That's all they look. That's all society is looking for.
HBCUs are such a big thing now, and it's. I feel like when things get trendy, they become, everyone wants to talk about it and be a part of it. You were someone who went to an HBCU as an athlete. I'm just like, it's a great idea, and I wish it was more cooler when I was coming up, but at the same time, I don't think the facilities could have held us. You know what I mean? I was fortunate enough to go to UCLA, and it was like being a professional athlete. And we were speaking to, some of the brightest minds come from these HBCUs, but the conditions aren't what some of these other schools are.
So the history of our HBCUs is a phenomenal history, which again was born out of struggle and people sitting around saying, we're not going to wait for other people, right? So there were a collection of people that were white and black and of many different backgrounds who understood that young, black, bright people were not having equal access to top levels of education. And so in a nutshell, that's how our HBCUs got formed. I attended Howard University, which is one of the oldest. And it built up over the years with its purpose and mission being to create national and international leaders. It had a reputation of doing that because it did that. But over the years, we also know that our students, HBCU students, don't necessarily, frankly, make the same kind of incomes that people who go to predominantly white institutions do. Don't start out on the same base. So even if they are, they're also taking care of their parents. They're also taking care of their younger siblings and don't necessarily have the extra to be able to build for the school, the endowment, which alumni give to, that ends up funding things like a first class program,
facilities,
be it athletic or scientific or something. So a lot of my work, especially in the Senate and now as vice president, has been to increase federal funding to HBCUs because, again, I know they are centers of academic excellence. They are centers of academic excellence, but don't necessarily have the same kind of resources. And so far, we've given now under our administration, as I've been vice president, $16 billion more to our HBCUs. When I was senator, I was responsible for helping to get billions into upgrading literally the physical structure because they're old.
Yeah.
And I think increasingly, to your point, more people are understanding. It's like we maybe skipped an era, but we're getting back to a place of more people understanding what our HBCUs do and giving more support financially to them. But we have to. I mean, it's an incredible experience to walk on campus and everybody looks like you.
Right.
And to go to class and to have a teacher who takes none of your excuses.
I have so many thoughts about that. I have so many thoughts about that.
If there's one man I know who could really speak about HBCUs, even though he never went to college, it would be Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle's great-grandfather, William David Chappelle Sr., was one of the people who founded Allen University down in Columbia, South Carolina. This bishop, an educator,
that's exactly.
Also chaired it and was a chairman of the board of trustees between 1916 and 1925.
Right. It reminds you that no, you just have to work harder. You just have to compete. You'll be the class president if you.
Oh, this is a great time to say work harder. When prices are through the roof and nobody in my generation can afford to buy a house, this is a great time to say work harder.
You do that. And the other thing that's great about an HBCU, you could be the class president at the Football Star.
Bullshit.
You could be in a sorority and be the head of the science club. Like it.
Bullshit. Bullshit. And I repeat one final time, bullshit.
Alexa, can you play Talking About My Generation by The Who?
Also, the beauty of HBCUs is every signal it sends you is telling you, do not confine yourself to somebody's idea of what it means for you to be a young Black person in America.
Wrong answer.
Now that is some bullshit.
I wouldn't
touch on mental health.
Sorry.
Mental health is big in the
Now,
black
that is
community,
some
especially black
bullshit.
men.
Yeah.
We have a lot of black men out here who starting grassroots organizations to help their communities. I'll give you an example. A guy named Zeke, he's building chapters called New Era in all over Detroit, the Bay Area, Texas, everywhere. And then what they're doing is they're taking care of the communities. Regardless of race, if somebody's been mistreated, if a store been mistreated, if somebody's been mistreated in that community, they're going to handle it hands-on, 19 keys and also Zeke. Is it anything that you're thinking about that can help these people that's building these grassroots that actually get stuff done on the ground?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, the mental health issue is probably one of the biggest public policy failures in our country. We have acted as though healthcare is, we've acted as though the body starts from the neck down.
Right.
Instead, and we need healthcare also from the neck up. And it has to be done in a way that gives people the dignity and the respect they deserve.
Right.
The most effective mental health care is often because it is peer-based. It is without judgment, and it understands. People have to be understood for, who they are culturally, who they are in terms of their life experience. If you're really going to be able to get into their needs. I worked with a brother here in DC, Kier, who actually has been doing a lot around modeling in particular. And I had him come in a couple of years ago, actually. We've been talking about how we focus in particular on our black men and our young black men, because we also have to take the stigma away. And so part of that is about reminding people, it's just like, if you break your arm or you got a toothache, this is about healthcare. And helping people understand it's a sign of strength to ask for help, not a sign of weakness.
Right.
Because when we talk about mental health care, a lot of it, especially for people who have experienced trauma, we're talking about pain. And we understand physical pain.
The mental.
Take an aspirin, whatever. But we don't deal with mental and emotional pain in the same way. And here's
I just have one question. Did you think about that when you locked that single mother up for taking care of her child with sickle cell anemia? I know I butchered that, but
just say sickle cell.
She didn't.
Sickle cell.
Did you think
about that?
Did you think about that when you tossed all the black men away with your money laundering that had to deal with cancer or mental illness? Did you think about that?
Here's the thing. First of all, look, growing up in poverty, trauma-inducing.
Major.
Growing up around, any form of violence, which crosses socioeconomic lines, by the way. So let's not act as though it's just low-income people. Everywhere. Trauma-inducing. And the thing about it is, when we talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, right? What happens when you've been repeatedly exposed to trauma? Somebody explained it to me years ago. It's oversimplified, but I'm going to offer you this. So imagine you're walking across a busy street every day, and a Mack truck comes barreling down. You will produce basically a response without even reflection. You'll jump back. If every day you're walking across the street, that thing, you overproduce the thing, so that one day you're walking across that street, that Mack truck has come barreling down. You see it, and you keep walking. And then we start talking about our young people don't have emotions.
Numb to it.
They're as though they've chosen,
Desensitized.
as though they have chosen to not have emotion. And we don't realize that a lot of it is physiological, literally. It's how the body learns to protect itself. And for our youngest children, then what does that mean? They start acting out in class. What happens? They get kicked out of class. They're the bad kid. They still start self-identifying that way. And we know where that leads. A lot of the work I did years ago when I was actually DA of San Francisco was focused on a project that it ended up developing itself into what we call the San Francisco Wellness Center, which was focused on early detection of childhood trauma so that we could get the diagnosis going for the treatment.
Did you follow through with it? Did you think about following through?
Because if you don't diagnose it, you can't treat it.
Right.
And I actually brought in mental health care professionals to talk with public school teachers about it. Like, this is what you're seeing in the classroom, and help people put a label on it as the first step to diagnosing it. And then getting the treatment. And during the time I've been vice president, as part of the work we've done on gun violence, we've put now millions of extra dollars in public schools to put more mental health professionals in our public schools. But we need to do a lot more. Because again, it just needs to be diagnosed and treated, right? And understanding this is not about some child who is bad. It's not some child who wants to act out. It's not, this is not a choice that child is making. But and it's not a choice this child is making. They're actually in pain. And it manifests itself in ways that are antisocial potentially, but the child's in pain.
Don't know how to get it out.
It's a defense mechanism. Yeah, I have a question along the mental health line. We spoke to Kobe and I did his last interview, and I asked him, over his long career, was there any negativity or hatred or disrespect toward you that he heard and hurt? And he said, I heard it all.
Yeah.
And he said it all hurt. As someone who's been the first in a lot of spaces you've been in, a woman of color, knocking on the door to possibly be the next president, how do you protect your mental health and your mental space?
Well, number one rule, don't read the comments.
They're nasty. They're nasty.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Don't read the comments. Just let's start there. I work out every morning. For me, it's just mind, body, and spirit. I think it's really important for everybody. We all have our levels of stress. Everybody does, right? Be intentional about who you have in your life to the extent you can. And in particular, for our young people who may not know that they have a right to be intentional about, do you have people in your life who applaud your success? Do you have people in your life who you trust? Do you have people in your life who, when you trip and fall, they laugh with you and then they pick you up and push you back out there? There are people that you know who will be those people if you choose to have them. I am blessed to have an incredible family and incredible friends. My best friend from kindergarten is still one of my best friends.
That's crazy.
Right? Stacey Johnson.
Yeah, that's dope. I love it.
We used to go to the clubs and her father Seville.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of it, right? Because you do need the support to deal with it. And especially, I mean, people who are active on social media, it's hard out there. It's tough. And you have to find things. Like, I love to cook. I love to cook. And it's a way for me to, I think it's just, for me, it's a great gift I can give the people I love. But it's also, it's.
Go ahead.
What was your question, Snowman?
No comment.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, no comment. Okay.
With all this word salad she's serving, no comment.
In fairness, this is one. Based on what I've heard, she doesn't know how to cook.
It's like I start out, I know what I'm gonna make, and then I'm done, and I can give it to people, and it just gives me something to do that is a productive use of time. And I think people, choose hobbies, think about what it is.
But does knowing how to cook can knowing how to cook talk to Vladimir Putin?
Wait a minute. I just realized something.
Does knowing how to cook mean you're going to do what's right for the folks here at home?
I just realized something, guys. She is basically the living embodiment of Gina Waters, aka Tisha Campbell's character from Martin. Because remember, light skin, good hair, but couldn't cook worth a damn.
I guess that's.
And she's talking Mount word salad and just like and shit like that.
Lord,
that's how this.
I guess that's why I said comment when she mentioned she knew how to cook, because I'm pretty
economy, small business, Black business. We actually just started our business in January, so we're we've grown from a show to a whole entire company. What is your economic plan moving forward for people who are living paycheck to paycheck and struggling for groceries and rent and homeowners?
So look, I grew up. So my sister and I were raised by our mother. We lived for a long time in an apartment on top of a child care center. That child care center was actually owned.
Yeah, her mother got a child when she was 16.
By a woman who lived 2 doors down from us, Mrs. Shelton, who was, by all of our accounts and feelings, our second mother. She helped raise us. And so she was a small business owner. So I'll start with the small business, and congratulations on what you guys did. I, from a child, knew who our small business owners are, right? I mean, you're business leaders, but you're also civic leaders. You take seriously your voice and how you can mentor, how you can grow, right? Communities and the sense of communities. I love our small businesses. And so a lot of my work in terms of building and growing the economy has focused on small businesses. And my vision overall is we need to build an opportunity economy in which we increase opportunity for all, including small business.
This answer was brought to you in part by Extra Special Word Salad.
I'm starting to feel like BGS when it comes to talking to civilians about this.
Actually, she was like, her mother was 25 when she had her.
Let me finish, Namer.
Sorry.
I can't sell this to the country. I won't. There's too much going on. I cannot sell somebody that is like this to the country.
Nor
won't
can
do
I.
it.
I won't do it either.
I can't. She might win. I might hear saying there's no way she gonna win, but she might win. But I won't sell this to the country. I just won't do it.
I can't do it.
Owners. So a lot of my work, even in the Senate, was about increasing access to capital through our small businesses and in particular through our community banks. So I've been responsible for billions of dollars more now going into our community banks because they're in the community and then they know who's in the community and where the talent is and who's doing good in the community, what the community wants. And so part of my plan as president is to give small businesses, startups, a tax deduction of $50,000 to start up. Because right now the tax deduction is $5,000.
Can't do nothing with that.
That's exactly right.
You can't do nothing with a tax deduction, you dumbass.
No, she said $50,000 tax deduction.
That's,
You have to make $50,000 before you even qualify for that tax deduction, and more than likely, it's not a small business. Class. One of the first things they teach you in any business class is that 90% of businesses fail.
Yo.
Most starter-up businesses do not make $50,000 to begin with.
Most start out operating at a loss.
Yes.
You don't make a profit.
Name it. Don't talk about tech companies like that. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Oh, okay. Wait, am I allowed to talk or not? Sometimes you confuse me.
Oh.
I get confused.
Sorry. That was Joe. Don't talk about tech companies like that.
Yeah. But like I said, well, yeah, we'll appreciate that. But like I said, most any business venture or business endeavor, you start out operating at a loss. You don't make a profit, at least not for the first 2 to 3 years, at least.
Right.
You don't start showing up a serious profit to 5 years in. And that's even if you continue, even if you are still around within 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Let's continue.
Go ahead.
And see, the thing we know is that most of our small business, our entrepreneurs who want to start a small business, got a great idea, have incredible work ethic, but they weren't handed a bunch of money on a silver tray, and they just need to get their foot in the door. So there is that. There is what I need to do and what we need to do around making housing and rent more affordable. Part of the problem there is we have a housing supply shortage. My plan includes giving tax incentives for home builders to build 3 million more homes by the end of my first term to increase supply to bring down cost, and to increase home ownership, a $25,000 down payment assistance to first-time home buyers. Because again, people just need to get their foot in the door.
They'll grind after that.
Right? That's exactly right.
They'll grind after
That's
that.
exactly right. And we know home ownership, especially for the community, that's the fastest, most effective, and most sure ways to build intergenerational wealth. It's then when your child says, I want to go to an HBCU or some other college, and you say, well, honey, you don't have to take out a student loan. I'm going to take some equity out of the house. Or your child says, I want to start up a small business, and you can say, let me take some equity and help you.
First, what is that business? Let me make sure it's not no down plan.
Well, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I get you saying. You have something to pull from.
Productive, right? You have something where it's about intergenerational wealth. Because see, here's how I feel about the economy and the economy I want to grow. We have, over the last 4 years, reduced Black unemployment to the lowest it has been in decades. Okay, that is an accomplishment. However, I believe, need to measure our success not just only about everybody's working, but can you build wealth?
Can you start saving?
Can you start saving?
God damn.
Can you buy a home?
And how are you going to build wealth or start saving when the majority of jobs you created are part-time? Oops, did I say that out loud?
Say it louder. Say it louder.
And how are you supposed to build wealth when the majority of the jobs you created
are
part-time jobs? Oops, did I say that out loud?
Say it louder,
Can you
motherfucker.
start saving to take your family on vacation from time to time? Can you save enough so that Christmas time for you and your children is not stressful, but something enjoyable, right? And so it's about, yes, we got to make sure that we have high employment, but also that we create opportunities for people to build wealth.
Get ahead.
Part of my plan is also to expand the child tax credit. $6,000 in the first year of your child's life.
Man, I could have used that one.
Because you know what that means. First year, that's such a critical stage of a child's development. And it's expensive. A family's got to buy a car seat, a crib, the things that
the necessities.
Because I start from the perspective that the vast majority of parents want to raise their children well. They love their children, but don't necessarily have the resources.
Edited the fuck out of that.
And if we understand that the children of a community are the children of the community, we'll understand that the majority of parents want to raise their children well. They love their children, but don't necessarily have the resources they need.
Yeah, I saw it.
And if we understand that the children of a community are the children of the community, we'll understand that an investment in something like the first year of a child's life benefits all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But these are things about building what I call an opportunity economy, which is about helping people not just to
Doesn't that sound like opportunity zones?
get by, but to get ahead. Because most people, look, here, maybe you've gathered this already. Here's where I come from. Most people have ambition. They have aspirations. They have dreams. And they are willing to work hard. And if we give people the opportunity to actually meet those goals, they jump for it every time.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody starts out from the same place in terms of having the opportunity to just get in there. And so my plans, whether it be $25,000 down payment assistance, whether it be a $6,000 child tax credit, or helping people in terms of what they need to do to be able to start a small business with a bigger tax deduction. The reason I'm saying all that is because when those folks are successful, we are all successful.
Community feels it.
And we actually strengthen the economy overall.
Absolutely.
When middle class is strong in America, America's economy is strong.
It's a better country. Yeah.
And it's a better country for all of us.
Absolutely. All right, so we're running short on time.
Okay.
We're going to finish up with quick hitters. First thing to come to mind, let us know. Oh, cannabis?
I just feel strongly people should not be going to jail for smoking weed.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I'm going to bed after that one.
And we know historically what that has meant and who has gone to jail.
Bullwinkle?
Second, I just think we have come to a point where we have to understand that we need to legalize it and stop criminalizing this behavior. And so, and I've actually, this is not a new position for me. I have felt for a long time we need to legalize it. So that's where I am on that.
I love it.
Well,
Okay.
She said weed, not cannabis. Pay attention, y'all.
Yeah, that's old school, right?
Yeah, that's old school.
I like it. I like it. All
I love it.
Favorite holiday to cook and what's your signature dish?
Well, Sundays are my favorite days
Sunday
to
dinner.
cook. Sunday family dinner.
Okay.
I mean, these days it's more difficult for me than ever. But Sunday family dinner,
Yeah, get everybody
my
together.
happy place, and whoever is around, bring your friends.
Oh, party. I'm going to leave you my
yeah.
number. I want to get invited to one of these Sunday dinners. I'll be back.
Okay. You guys are welcome.
Yes.
Best musical artist in Bay Area history.
Ooh, put her on the spot.
Oh, ever? Now
Your
my mind is
opinion?
going through lots.
Your
And I mean, I could go with Too Short, but I
Can't go
mean,
wrong with Too Short.
yeah.
Bullshit.
Raphael
Mac
is
Dre.
yeah. You know, Tupac had his.
Yeah, he
his
claims
rappers, yeah.
he claims they're 40.
Yeah.
5 dinner guests dead or alive.
I'm gonna get emotional when I say this. My mother and my husband never met.
Oh, okay.
My mother passed away before we got married. So if I could put him at the table
Yes.
with my mother,
Okay.
Shirley Chisholm, first black
Big.
woman to
That's
run for
big.
president.
That's big.
Oh,
My
and
first time
I
hearing
would
that one.
so
A lot of people
love
don't know
to
who she
sit
is.
with her.
Pick her brain.
I
yeah.
would so love to sit with her. I mean, I feel that I know her because I have studied her life.
You're walking in her footsteps.
And yes, that a path that she created,
Mhm.
right?
It's a beautiful thing.
One of my heroes is Thurgood Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you
What a shock.
talk about like him being active in the streets and what he did in terms of representation, and then went to the court and carried that over.
Big. Who's that last seat going to?
You know who I saw recently, who I just love, but he's one of two, the Justins from Tennessee. They refused to be silenced. They're both in the state capitol.
Okay.
And they were speaking up about gun violence.
Okay.
And then the other legislators tried to shut them down. And Justin Jones is actually from Oakland,
Okay.
and born where I was born at Kaiser Hospital,
Okay.
Oakland, California.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That would be kind of a good mix, because then
Love
that's
it.
kind of different generations of leaders.
First thing you do in the morning, last thing you do before you go to sleep.
First thing I do in the morning is work out.
Mhm.
There is a prayer that comes in
Mhm.
after that
Yes, of course.
every day.
Mhm.
And last thing, usually to tell my husband I love him.
I like that.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
And what's your guilty pleasure? Do you have any?
Yes. One of my guilty pleasures, especially when I'm on the road, are my Doritos.
Oh, what flavor?
Nacho.
Nacho.
Old school, original.
OG,
Come on.
yeah. OG.
Come on.
Red bag.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
Red bag.
That's exactly. Got to have a napkin nearby.
hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
AB,
I
can you
love
pause
it.
for a minute?
What was your process? Because it was fast. What?
Yeah. Breaking news, motherfuckers. Breaking news. Breaking news, niggas. Cheech and Chong have officially endorsed the couch this election.
Who?
Cheech and Chong have officially endorsed the couch.
Okay.
I'm going to endorse the bed and say good night.
Yeah, I'm about to endorse the bed too after this.
What was your process and what did you do when you were deciding who to pick for your vice president?
You know, ultimately what it came down to was Tim Walz. If you look at Tim Walz and you look at me and you have a sense of who we are and where we came from, you think we have nothing in common. But
you don't.
His, you know, he comes from and grew up in the same kind of, you know, different part of the country. You know, folks were a different color from a different culture, but same
Give me
people,
this button.
hardworking people.
Give me this button
straight
right
talking
now.
people,
Now that
people
is some
who have
bull
values. And I just found that
There's a problem with that statement. See, I'm from Tim Walz neck of the woods. I live in Indiana. I'm from the Midwest.
Same.
You think, no matter, I'm just going to ask you a simple question. You think tampons in the boys' bathrooms going to sell to white Midwesterners? Really?
Not no, but hell no.
Hell no.
Thank you,
Now that is some
Mr. Red Vested
bull
himself.
shit.
D.
And if you do think that's going to sell to them, all I have to say is stay off the weed.
Yeah. I got that somewhere. Hold on.
so familiar to me.
Mhm.
And I guess that the process was ultimately I made a decision about my gut around like, do you, and not that any of the other candidates didn't, but just do you have a connection to the people and a life experience that is about just seeing people. And
Speaking of Tim Walz's connection to the people, he went to a Michigan game. Shout out to Dr. Dunbar, and proceeded to get booed because of him. Michiganders had to wait out in the rain, so he could walk in with his security his Secret Service.
Where was this? Where is this?
Michigan.
Ann
College
Arbor,
football game.
University of Michigan Stadium,
What were they playing against?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, his state. Oh, the other interesting part, he was actually rooting for Michigan. Oops.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. That's good. Oh no, there's a reason why, because he went to Minnesota State, not Minnesota.
No. He was rooting for Michigan.
Yeah, I know, because the reason why is because one, he's not an alumni, he's not an alumnus of University of Minnesota, but of Minnesota State. They're state rivals. That's why.
Okay. Well,
That makes sense.
Okay, never mind. That's a good reason. But anyway, let's continue.
but it was a whole thing. I mean,
But I heard you did some cooking. You were trying to watch a movie and couldn't focus. Like, is that your nerve? That's what I want. Yeah.
Well, so okay. So you want to know that part?
Give me that. Yeah.
Look, from the time that the president called me and told me he wasn't running, I mean, it just like everything was in.
By the way, she didn't answer the question on. She didn't even answer the question on what do you like to cook. You notice that?
Yep.
She can't cook. What are you talking about? She has somebody else cook for her.
Motion. And I was not sleeping so well. And that one morning, I mean, I had, I don't know, a few hours sleep, and I like to sleep. I just got up. I was like, and so I just went out and got a pork roast and started marinating.
Kind of work. Get your happy place.
And my family happened to be in town, so they were very happy about the whole situation. But I just got up and started. Everybody asleep. I just got up and started cooking.
Set your mind to
Yeah.
Last question. As someone who's broke a ton of barriers throughout your journey, and your journey is continuing to elevate, what does it mean to you to be the first woman president, but the first Black woman as president?
Yeah. Well, not there yet. Knock wood. My mother had many sayings, and one of them is she would say to me, Kamala, you may be the first to do many things. Make sure you're not the last. And I take that so very seriously. I've had the good fortune to mentor a lot of people along the way, including to this day. For me, it's about, one, understanding the shoulders I stand on. We talk about a Shirley Chisholm, and then so many people who are alive who have mentored me and held me up. And I feel so strongly that, each one pull one. You got to leave that door open more than it was when you walked in. And that's what it means to me. I feel a great sense of responsibility. I mean, you talk about your daughter and what she's doing at school. I look at our sons. I feel a sense of responsibility to hopefully remind them that you should never hear no. You should never hear nobody like you has done this before, or it's not your time, or they're not ready. Like, don't hear that. Don't hear that. I eat no for breakfast. That's my saying.
Well, I think
I eat no for breakfast.
You got to see it to believe it. We talked about that growing up in the communities. We got to see it to believe it. We've seen Obama do what he does, and now we have an opportunity to possibly see you. And to me, 5, 6 daughters, and I have a daughter. Just to be able to see it means so much.
Right. Well, because there's so many. It's sadly, but there's so much good in the world. So let's start with that. And there's so many positive messages, and there are some that are not positive, and that would suggest to our kids, to our young people, that they're alone, that they don't have champions, that they don't belong, that they're not entitled to, that they don't have.
Did you just pause?
Rights, including the right to be a leader.
Yeah, right.
And I hope that in my career and in my work, to the extent I am able to help people reject that I can do that.
I love it. Before we get out of here, we would like to give you our first ever coffee.
Oh, you're kidding.
Ever have a coffee table book, Simon & Schuster. We did a partnership with them, so we want to sign this.
Please do.
For you.
Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. So this is a lot of new stuff happening for you guys, huh?
Making our way.
What is the name of the company?
All the Smoke Productions.
Okay, so Productions, adding that.
Just added it to the end.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
All the stories, some of our favorite guests, and their thinking, everything from mental health to family to business to basketball to.
I'm so glad you guys are. On everything, but on the mental health piece.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
Because that's especially coming from the two of you and the folks that you'll bring on.
Yeah.
We just need to remind people that it's actually this is about self-help.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, stop suffering.
Yeah. And I think too,
we're living with so much suffering.
We came from as low as you can be and made it out. So to inspire and to let people know it is okay to ask for help is important. But
here's the other thing, if I can just add to that. I think we have a system that fails people if only.
Oh, at least she's honest.
The exception.
On that part, maybe.
It's a great point.
Right? If only. But here's the other thing, if I can just add to that. I think we have a system that fails people if only the exceptional can get out.
Great point.
Right? That's a failure of a system. Because, then people say, oh, but this person and that person. No. If you're pointing to the exceptional and that's the only success story you've got.
Forgetting about the majority.
That's a failure of a system.
Patrice O'Neal had a point.
Good point. Keyword is opportunity. You said, people always asking, what's the difference between you and George Floyd? We grew up in the same area, did the same things, but I had an opportunity to go play basketball.
That's right.
He didn't have opportunity to get out the ghetto. So that's the only difference in our areas is opportunity. Everybody don't have the same opportunity.
That's exactly right.
And that's what we got to give back to.
That's exactly right.
Agreed.
Because if you didn't have that skill, but you had other skills.
I would have been right there with him.
Right, exactly right. Exactly right. How's his daughter doing?
She's doing great. She's doing great.
She's
doing real good. Yeah, she has her days.
Yeah.
She's in school, but sometimes she'll hear something that'll bring her back to that place.
Yeah, she got counseling.
Yep, and she has a great support system. So she's doing great. And everybody has done things for her.
Yeah.
She's definitely reaping the benefits of it. So it's been a blessing for her.
Tell her I asked about her.
I definitely will. I will.
Yeah, we should have her come back too when she's on break.
Yeah. She'll be happy to do that.
She's a sweet child. She really is. And handled all that attention
in
every way, because that was a lot. In every direction, from even people who want to give her love and support. Yeah. But that was a lot for a child of that age.
There was no blueprint, and she picked me up a lot of days. Yeah. A lot of days where I didn't know what I was doing. Just hearing her call me uncle and just tell me she loved me, those days picked me up a lot. So she is definitely a special child.
Gave her hope.
Yeah, she's a special child.
We are all a work in progress.
Yes.
We really are.
And ain't no blueprint to it.
And not at all. We are making it up as we go along.
Still breaking the glass ceiling. Still breaking the glass ceiling. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you for having us in your home.
I'm going to bed.
It's finally over.
What's the other fool's name? Not Matt Barnes, the other one.
Steven Jackson.
The Steven Jackson. Mr. Mr. Malice at the Palace.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Ron Artest and everybody. Because I remember he joked about, what was it? He was also part of the 2003 team that won the championship with the Spurs, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's Steven Jackson, and he went to Indiana.
Yeah.
And the bullshit
That's Steven Jackson. Who went through hell, who did that the Malice at the Palace, and then still came out smelling like a rose when he wound up with the Warriors.
Now, Matt Barnes also went with play with the Warriors and got a championship ring in 2017. Remember?
Yes.
Then he retired that year.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to say good night. I'm going to say thank you.
My best to Jody. I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Doing well. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yep.
I know I haven't said this in a long time, but motherfucker, you ain't shit. You ain't never been shit. You never will be shit. And God bless you for it, motherfucker.
Never claimed to be.
You know you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm about to
Love
shut
you
down,
too.
folks. I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.